All right, welcome back to our 1-3-10 podcast, where I have one guest. We ask them 3 questions, and we accomplish this in under 10 minutes. Today, I have a 2011 graduate of Union Local High School, Mr. Bernie Thompson. He now serves as our treasurer and also our head football coach. So, first question for you, Bernie, jumping right in. How did the lessons you learned as a student athlete at Union Local and Waynesburg prepare you for the challenges of your adult life and your current role?
That's a great question. I think, being a student athlete, I think adds a layer of responsibility. I think anytime that you're participating in sports, it adds, extra time, effort, and energy. So, for me, being a student athlete, I took pride in that.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I think I didn't do well enough here at Union Local was take pride in my academics. And that was something that once I got to college, I went to Waynesburg, I always remember my uncle telling me, if you want to be a student athlete, right, you got to go through the classroom before you get to the playing field. And that really, that made a difference with me. So I buckled down. My GPA improved each and every single year when I was in college.
Constant growth.
Yeah, so I had the growth there. But really what that did was it instilled me with an added layer of responsibility of not only taking care of my academics, but then making sure, I'm taking care of my body. I'm in the weight room. I'm watching film. I'm getting prepped. To play the sport that I was playing. And what that does for student athletes, I think that empowers them, so once they go on to their workforce, right, they now can handle that extra little bit of weight, that extra hard work, and they know what that is. And I think that made a drastic difference for me and then heading into my career.
Yeah, so prioritizing things.
Yeah.
A lot of folks, you go to college, that might be your number one responsibility, or maybe you have a part-time job, but when you're a student athlete, how many hours a week are you putting in on average in college football?
Oh, a lot. I think it's basically like your job. So, what I would do, when I was at Waynesburg, I'd wake up early. You'd have to be in the gym by 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Then you go to breakfast, and you go to class all day, and then after class, you would go get your workout in, and then you go to practice, and by then practice is over about 5, 6 o'clock. You go to dinner, and then you go back to the film room, and really you wouldn't get back to your room about 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. I'm sorry. So it was a long day. But it teaches you what hard work is, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my time at Waynesburg. It wasn't a big school, but it's cool to see Division III, Division II athletes go on. They're still doing the same thing a Division I athlete is,
Yes.
Right? Just without the high-end material.
Fanfare, without the name, image, and likeness deal.
Correct.
And you're learning life skills that'll last forever. I mean, when you come to work here, there's a lot of different, irons on the fire, and you have to prioritize, and you can't say, well, I did a bunch of schoolwork, now I'm too tired to do practice.
Correct.
Same way when you go here, you could have a ton of stuff to do from the financial side, but then you have to go and coach the football team.
Yep.
What's the most challenging part? We just had a long meeting talking about our finances. What's the most challenging part of managing the district's finances? And what's one success that you're really proud of as a treasurer here?
I would say the most challenging part to being a treasurer is just there's so many components, right? There's so many components in your job, whether it's the day-to-day of, starting the day, checking the emails, checking the mail, checking, the budgets. And then it goes to bigger things such as, making sure you are prepped for negotiations, prepped for building projects, the levy here. So there's multiple components, and they're all very, very important. I just think that, a treasurer is kind of that behind the scenes rock to a school district. I think if you have a quality treasurer and they're doing their job and they're keeping everything solid, I think you can run a really good organization.
And for the superintendent, the treasurer is one of the most important people for me to lean on, because I have all the things that we want to get done and accomplish for our students, but it's your job to help tell me what we have the financial means to accomplish, and that we're not overextending ourselves in the pursuit of these goals. So it's a balancing act between the two roles.
Yeah, both are extremely important. Both go hand in hand, and both are impacting everybody in the district.
And I don't know if everybody always knows all that goes into being a treasurer.
I don't think so. I didn't for sure until I got into the seat, and I think that's the thing is Miss Histrich taught me so much. And just seeing her on a day-to-day basis, you have no clue what really goes on until you're sitting in that chair.
In that seat.
Yeah, but I think some positive things that I think we've done here. It's always a success to go and see the kids using the supplies and impacting them, right? A few things that pop off of my head are like the STEM classes, right? So we're buying supplies for our STEM classes. I know our robotics class is excelling. We got some drones. We got some ViewSonic boards that's really impacted a lot of elementary kids down the elementary school, and just seeing them use that technology or use those supplies that are really helping them in the classroom and really helping their development.
I think another thing that you deserve credit for is working on the budget deficit and the fact that we were able to address that without losing any programs and keeping everybody on staff. I mean, I think that was very impressive, and that's something that people don't necessarily see from the outside, but we have to make sure our budget's solvent so we can keep providing the services to our students. And we were able to do that without hurting our culture because we kept all of our programs and we kept all of our personnel. So I think that's a credit to you as well.
Well, thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about your role as football coach. We talked a lot about the treasurer job, how your college life and your life in high school prepared you for success. We talked about school finances, but beyond the wins and losses, I think that's so easy to focus on. We see the highlights on Sports Friday. We see the articles in the newspaper. But people quickly forget the wins and the losses. You might not forget the losses, but I think people quickly forget. What's the ultimate goal of your football program? What do you want for our students when they walk off that field and walk into their lives?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think my ultimate goal as a football coach is to empower the young men on my football team and to create better young leaders in their family, in the classroom, in the community. And I'm proud of what we're doing on our football team. I think my ultimate job is to equip young men so when they go and they leave high school, they leave your football program, that they're better off because they went through your football program. And that's equipping them with life skills. That's showing them what hard work is. That's showing them how to embrace difficult times, handling adversity. That's showing them what being a good teammate looks like. And that's showing them a belief, and that's a word that we use in our culture is believing, right? So you have to believe in yourself, you have to believe in your teammates, you have to believe in your coaches, the system, that everything that you're doing is bettering yourself. So I know that, at the end of the day, I think my true wins and losses have nothing to do with the outcome of games. I think my wins and losses are when kids are calling me that played for me and asking me to be on their resume, or they're at job interviews, and you just build that strong relationship with these kids and seeing them excel, whether it's college or right to the workforce. I think here at Union Local we've done such a good job over the past 5 years of just having that strong nucleus of kids when they graduate wanting to come back, wanting to come talk to the kids and the coaches. So really happy with that.
You have about 60 players on the roster?
60 kids on the roster this year.
And I think that's a testament to what you're doing, because football in the year 2025, it's not an easy sell. I mean, students have their cell phones. It's sometimes easier to play video games or just relax. You're coming out in July and August in the heat and full pads. And it's a testament to what you've been able to create, because only 11 kids that play at a time, right?
11 play at a time.
Only 11 play at a time, and you're having 60 students on your roster because they want to be part of something, because they believe.
Yeah, and I think, too, being a young man in today's world, it's not easy. There's so many distractions, right? Whether it's your phone or whatever that may be. So I have a safe place for these young men to come down and learn life lessons. I use football as a vehicle. It's a vehicle to make you stronger, and we say stronger in 3 areas: mentally, physically, and spiritually. And if you come down and you buy in and you work hard, right, good things will come your way. And then the byproduct is the football, right? If you stick around us long enough, you're eventually going to be pretty good at football, and you're going to know what you're doing. So that's the fun thing to see, just kids gravitating. I think each year we've kind of built it up to now we have 60 kids on the roster. And it's fun, and we have high expectations at Union Local. That's been the biggest thing I think since I took over. We had 20 some kids, not winning a whole lot of games, but now the expectations here at Union Local each year is to grow and to get better and to improve. So unfortunately we've lost our last 2 games, but we're only heading into week 4, and I'm excited to see how this journey goes. A lot of season to go. Absolutely.
And I love how this interview went, because we started off talking about your role and how football helped shape you and make you disciplined and organized. And then you closed by wanting to give those same things to your student athletes.
Yeah.
So this is our 1-3-10 podcast, 1 guest, 3 questions, 10 minutes or less, 2011 graduate, Bernie Thompson. If you have someone who graduated from Union Local that would like to be a guest on our podcast, please email me at zshutler@ulschools.com. Jets think, Jets care, Jets aim high. Go Jets. Thanks, Mr. Thompson.
Thank you.